Yo, could somebody please tell me how February went by so fast and January took forever to end? But February's almost over, so you know what that means. That means that it is time for a brand new TBR. First and foremost, let's discuss whether I successfully completed my February TBR, and that answer is almost 100%. What I didn't complete, and I blame it entirely on the fact that I was epically sick for 3 to 4 days and barely read at all. So that's pretty good. I think that if I had been able to read those 3 or 4 days, I would have finished. The one book that I did not finish, that will carry over because I am actively reading it and I'm almost exactly halfway through. But today is the 27th, which means I've got a day and a half to finish, and that's just not gonna happen. That's City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I am absolutely fucking loving it. This is giving me kind of Bear and the Nightingale vibes, but obviously set in a different location. So I'm taking my time with it because I don't want to push myself to finish a book that I'm truly loving, because then I start to not love it. So I'm okay. I'm pretty proud that I finished the rest of them, considering I also had Contemporary-thon in the middle, which was like a whole other TBR. So pat on the back to me. It's been a good year so far. So obviously this will carry over into March's TBR, but that's not a big deal because it's only half the book, so. So now obviously is when I insert the clips of my children picking the books they picked, and this month for whatever reason they decided that their stuffed animals got to pick as well. And let me tell you in advance, this is an incredibly eclectic choice of TBR, and I'm not entirely excited about some of the choices, which made me think maybe I should consider an unhaul pretty soon instead of leaving things on the cart that I really have no interest in reading. But as I go through each one, I'll tell you which ones did not excite me, because some of them did. Anyway, let's roll the clip. Which one? Are you struggling? That one? Oh, okay.
Easy peasy.
Thank you for always picking manga, buddy. Which one did you pick? Let me point to it and I'll help you get it out. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Wow. Okay, thank you, teddy bear. Okay?
I'm so lucky.
Oh, thank you.
What happened to
Not going easy on me today. Alright, thank you guys. So as you saw, my son's first choice was Berserk Volume 2, which is cool because this isn't mine, this is my husband's friend's copy, so I should get to it and just get it over with so we can get it back to him. And it's a short read, and for anyone who follows me on Instagram, you know I've got a very epic book on my TBR for March, so the shorter the better for this TBR, which actually didn't pan out very well for me. Anyway, Berserk. And since we started with a manga, and I like to sprinkle them in throughout, reading real... what a weird word to choose. Actual novels. Novels that aren't picture novels. I'm just gonna get the manga out of the way that I'd like to read this month. This is all my choosing, just to have kind of a goal. First, I'd like to get to Orange by Ichigo Takano. I got both volumes 1 and 2 from Kayla over at On the Fritz for my birthday. It's a manga that I've really wanted to get into for a while now, so I'm gonna try and get to it this month. Basically, it's about a girl who's about to enter her 11th year in high school when she gets a letter from herself 10 years in the future. She thinks it's a prank, but then things that were said in the letter start coming true. We'll see where that takes us. Obviously, I want to keep chugging along on Death Note. I'm on volume 4 at this point, so obviously I'm not going to give much of a synopsis, but it's about a notebook that writing a person's name, as long as you know what they look like in the notebook, will kill them if you are the current owner of the notebook. And it's kind of a war between the owner of the notebook and the police to try and figure out who it is. At this point, there's a lot of crap going on, but I'm ready to get this read entirely. I've got three more volumes to go of the double bind-ups. and I just want to know. I just want to know where it goes. And last but not least, in terms of manga, I also picked up the second volume of Akira, or at least it came in from the library, by Katsuhiro Otomo. A lot shorter than the first one, so I think I can get through it pretty fast. But also, I've had to wait for each volume, so I have a feeling that someone will have it on hold after me. So I have to get it done this month, otherwise I'll lose it, you know what I mean? So there you go. Those are the mangas I'd like to finish in March. Alright, so you saw what my son chose, Berserk. Now you'll see what my daughter chose, which is Mystic River by Dennis Lehane. I've literally owned this book since college at some point, maybe my second year. I was probably, I don't know, 20, so like 11 years ago. I bought this mass market paperback because we did a like study in scenes in one of my writing classes and read the first chapter of this, and I loved it, and so I picked it up, and then I just never fucking read it. I guess now's the time. It's about 3 boys who are friends when they're kids, and one of them gets abducted, I believe, and based on that happening, but he's like, okay, it changes obviously everything for all 3 of them, and now we're seeing them in adulthood, and one of their kids is killed, and one of the other guys is a detective, and he gets involved in the case, and that's all I know. I've been carrying around with me through like 6 moves. I believe it was Oliver's stuffed animal chose another one I've probably had since college, which is Angels by Dennis Johnson. I don't know, I would imagine a lot of you are younger and don't remember Dennis Johnson. But when I was younger, this book, Jesus' Son, was like huge and blew up hardcore, and they made like a really weird movie about it. And I loved it enough, but I don't know if I actually loved it. I don't know if it was hype or if I actually loved it. That's how old this is. 1993 this was published. So I bought like all of his books, and I really should unhaul them. I guess we're gonna see if it's worth unhauling. At least it's pretty short, but I know nothing about it. It's, I believe 2 people that have no relation are like shitty people. One's running from her husband and kid, and I don't remember what the other one is, but they like come together on a Greyhound bus and decide that they're gonna go through life together. Just like a study on American life. Sounds about right. If there's a book that I assume I'm not gonna finish, this is the one. Also, apparently it's Stephen King month for me. Didn't see this one coming, but Isley's stuffed animal chose Finders Keepers by Stephen King, which is the second book in the Bill Hodges trilogy, aka Mr. Mercedes. I read the first one in like November, maybe early December. I really enjoyed it, but it is pretty long. As I said, I was hoping for short ones, but here we are. Am I excited to read it? Yes. Have I wanted to read it? Yes. Is it what I was hoping for this month? Not really. But that's the whole point of the TBR cart, right? And having other people choose, is that I get overwhelmed with choices, and so I let my family choose, and then slowly I'll whittle down, and with just tons of fantasy. They never pick the fantasy. And as I said, it's a Stephen King month because then my baby goes and hit 2 of the Stephen King books that I own, so I picked the smaller of the 2, which is Geralds Game by Stephen King. I don't know anything about it except I've seen the trailer for the Netflix version of it, which seems like it's a couple in a cabin in the middle of nowhere that are into kinky sex, and she gets tied up and he dies somehow, and then she's stuck in this bed handcuffed without the keys. So I'm sure it's a very psychological thriller. I don't know if this is one of his better or not good novels, but I guess we're gonna find out. And then lastly, for what my family chose, my husband was sweet and tried to pick something smaller because he knew that I wanted smaller books, and he chose, again, something I bought in college. Literally, maybe that's the theme, is just like Stephen King in college. And that is The Uses of Enchantment by Heidi Julavitz. I remember one of my favorite writing teachers talking about this, and so I got it, and then I dropped it in water, and then I never read it. And I'm pretty sure it's about a girl, when she's 16, she gets abducted again. And she's missing for like a really long time, but then she just shows up as suddenly as she disappeared. and she has no memory of being abducted. Like, she doesn't remember what happened while she was gone. She starts seeing a psychologist because her family's like, well, what the fuck? And they kind of think she faked it. So I guess we'll find out how it is. I guess I'm kind of excited about it, you know? I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise, so. Now we're on to my picks. I say picks, but it's really only 2. And one of them is my stretch goal because it's the book that I really want to read right now. Well, I want to read both of them, but the book outside of, I'm like jumbling words right now. One of my goals, as you remember, is that if I buy a book, I like to read it right then now. One of my goals for the year, and so one of my most anticipated releases of the year is this gigantic ass double tome, and that is obviously Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Hence why I was hoping for some shorter, smaller books for the month. It's like 800 and something pages. I hope it's as beautiful internally as it is externally because this book is gorgeous. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Look at it. Because of how big it is, it's gonna be very hard for me to pick up because I do a lot of my reading when my son's asleep on me and I read with one hand. And that's just not possible with this. So this is going to be a early morning when he's in his high chair kind of read. So do I think I'll finish it in March? No. Do I hope I can finish it in March? Absolutely. But I'm giving myself a little grace with it and letting it ride like a Sarah J. Maas novel where I just... Sarah J. Maas? Sarah J. Maas novel where I just kind of read it when I can and chip away at it. Because I also want to enjoy it, like I said, with City of Brass. I want to be able to take my time with it. It's about dragons and strong-ass women, power and magic, and if you haven't heard of it already, you've been living under a rock, honestly. Really excited to get into it. So with that said, my last stretch goal pick, the one that I was hoping got picked this month, but didn't, so I picked it myself, and if I don't do it in March, it'll be my pick in April for sure. That's Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I really just want to get to it. I keep, like, my Twitter timeline and even Instagram talks about the Nevernight Chronicles all the fucking time, and I have to like speed past all the tweets and the jokes and the art and the commentary because I don't know what it's about and I don't want to be spoiled because everybody I know that's read it, that's not true, but most of the people that have read it absolutely fucking love it, and I have high expectations that I will too, so it's on my TBR. I'm a little hesitant to say that I'll be able to get all of these done. But I said that in February and I read all but half of a book. So, let's say we can do it. Whew. Here we go. The 11 things I'm hoping to read in March. Holy shit too. Hold on, can I do this? Oh god, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not left-handed, this is a lot of work. Okay, okay. Plus this. We're just gonna wrap it up. Alright, so you saw how many. I'm actually a little bit out of breath with that. 11 and a half books. 11 and a half books. I can do it, right? I got this. 4 of them are manga. I got this shit. Okay. That's it for me, guys. Read any of these? How should I prioritize them? Let me know. Have you heard of any of these ones I've been hanging on to since college? I'd be interested to know because I've mostly been reading books that are pretty hype these days, so it's gonna be fascinating. Thinking about vlogging it, we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Good luck to me, right? Go ahead and hit like if you like this video and you believe in me and this month and this TBR. Subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. All my social media links will be linked down below. I am on Instagram and Twitter and Goodreads. Let's be friends. I hope you're having a great day, that February was good to you and that March is even better. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye. Okay. Nope, I don't think I can do it, so I'm just gonna do this. Close to Cody, but not 13.